So today is the 13th of November 2013. On the 13th of November 2012, in about an hour's time from now, I was driving home from work when that old man pulled out at me. That's right, it's been 1 year since the crash. And today is officially Love Your Thumbs Day. It was a joke between me and Mrs. 808 YouTube to do with the fact that you really don't appreciate what these things on the side of your hand do for you. You know, you can hurt a finger and it's fine, but you fuck your thumb up and you are in a mess. You can't grip things, you can't do anything with your hands. So really, right now, appreciate your thumbs. Look at them, wiggle them around a little bit and be like, good thumbs, I like you. Do this. I wasn't able to do this. I was drinking glasses of water while I was holding my hands together for about a month. So here we are. 1 year ago, I was coming down here. Of course, let's not forget that in that crash, Betty died. So today is the 1 year anniversary of Betty's death. Feels weird. Does feel very weird, actually. I wasn't expecting it feel this weird, but it does. I've been riding around today and it's really been playing on my mind. Like, be careful, you don't want to repeat, like, on the same date 1 year later. Oh God, can you imagine? So if you don't know, if you've only recently subscribed to me, as I say, last year, car pulled out me, old man. I went into the side of him. As it turns out, I sustained reasonably small injuries considering the impact. I mean, Betty was ripped in half. I can't remember who even said it, I'm sorry dude, but someone said it looked like it got ripped in half by a fucking transformer. That did actually make me smile, I remember that. Basically, yeah, I smashed my knee up, did some damage to a couple of ligaments that have taken, well, it's a year later, I'm still having a lot of problems with them. My thumb, I ripped off the UCL tendon in my thumb and they had to surgically reattach that. Had a bit of memory loss for a little while. Other than that, I'm okay. And I could have very easily been killed in it. That's the thing I'm not forgetting. I could very easily right now be dead, or in a wheelchair, or just have some, debilitating injury beyond what I have. And I feel extremely lucky to not be in that situation, that 1 year on from that date, I'm back on a bike, a nice new bike. Lovely Jessie, who I love very much, but Betty had a special place in my heart. She was my first bike, and I understand what people say now about your first bike is your first bike, and you really do love it, and you'll never forget it. And of course, at the time of the crash, I wasn't able to tell people what was going on. Fucking didn't really know what was going on myself half the time. And Jake put a video up called Motovlogger Down. It was just he explained to people what had been going on because I just couldn't make a video to even explain it at that point. And then it took me 4.5 months to get back to work, but in that time I made lots of silly little videos that some people found them funny. And also I was inundated with messages of not wishing me well and people who were concerned to hear about me. And these people, you only know me through YouTube, but that really touched me, and it really did help, to read these messages and keep the hope going. Everything will be sorted out eventually, even though it does take a lot of time. And I want to thank you all of you that sent me a message then, thank you. That really did help me then. Any crash is shitty, but it's not just the injuries, it's not just the crash, the loss of the bike, it's all the fucking paperwork as well. You would not believe the thickness of file I have on that crashing paperwork, and it's still not finished. On the 21st of this month I'm going to see a neurologist, which is to do with the accident, the injury claim I'm doing, because I had some memory loss and some problems, keeping track of what was going on around the time, and that has to be discussed. And I'm going to see a hand specialist in December who's going to discuss the permanent loss of movement and the nerve damage in my thumb. It's not a lot of movement, it's just at the extreme sort of, the overall range has been limited a bit, and it's not a problem. I can still, I can grip hard on things. Sounds a bit wrong. So yeah, as I say, even though it's been a year, it's still going on, it's not ended. And until everything's done and dusted, it's not out of my mind. It's taught me a lot about I didn't trust people before, I've talked about this. I never trusted people before. I just didn't imagine that guy couldn't have not seen me, but I learnt my lesson. It is possible in any situation for a person not to see you. Oh, and of course, how can I forget, I made the So Long My Friend video, which if you haven't seen, I'm going to put a link to it in the description. If you want to leave some love for Betty as a memorial. It's kind of hard to believe it's been a year. I mean, it's been a year since that day. I can remember it like it was 5 seconds ago. In some ways, it feels a lot longer because so much has happened since then. I mean, at the point that I did that, I only had about 4,000 subs, something around there. I'm now sitting at 19. So fuck, a lot happened in that year. But I definitely don't take it for granted how lucky I was that day. I mean, people have had smaller accidents and just been killed outright, or, you know, as I say, been left fucking out in a wheelchair or something. To come out of it with a bit of a fucky knee and a bit of a fucky thumb. How? I don't know how the fuck I came out of it that well. I mean, maybe it was the fact that Betty took so much of the force. I mean, can you imagine the amount of force it takes to snap 2 yokes? Just clean in half. Rip cables. It doesn't just happen when you bump into something. You've got to hit something fucking hard. You know, it's all too easy to get very complacent about your life and the sort of normality for you. But once you've had the normality taken away from you, you know, not being able to walk for a few weeks, not being able to hold things properly, not being able to get in and out of cars and stuff. You know, and in the next 10 minutes, when you do something, concentrate and actually just like realise how much you use your thumbs for what you're doing. And how, or try and do stuff without using your thumbs. Just imagine they're stuck out sideways, you can't grip with them, just try and do things and you'll find that tying your shoelaces, texting, any of these things without your thumbs are a fucking nightmare. You know, I thought I'd make this video talking about everything a year later because, as I say, once time's passed, your perspective has changed a bit because you know what's happened, because that's one of the worst things of the crash, is the uncertainties of what's going to be happening in the future. People asking you what's going to happen with this, what's going to happen with that. You're like, I don't know. At the moment I'm concentrating on being able to walk again. But mainly it's to say thank you to whatever reason that I didn't get hurt, whether it was wearing proper gear or it was just complete fucking luck. Thanks to whatever that was. And particularly thank you to you guys, the people that gave me support. And being able to go past this road again, no problems. You know, it's a good thing. You know, and I was thinking all the messages and all the support, if I had not had that at the time, it would have been an even lousier time. You guys really did make it a lot easier for me, because every single day I had people sending me messages, I was talking to people, it just kept me occupied, and, you know, it brought a nicer light onto a very shitty situation. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to every one of you that helped. Thank you for all the people who have continued supporting me through this time and, you know, joined onto my channel. And lastly, Betty, I know you're up there somewhere. Well, hang on, let's be honest, down there somewhere. I love you, girl. So to anyone who's currently down, just had a crash and you're going through it, I feel for you. I know what it's like. It's not pleasant, but trust me, things will get better. It takes time, and it will feel like it's forever. But once it's all done and dusted and you're back on a bike and everything, it will feel like it was, you know, over in a few weeks and everything was okay. If you want to leave a message to Betty herself, I think probably the So Long My Friend video would be a good place for that to be. Let's have a little bit of a memorial book in the comments. Not that the comments really exist quite like as they did at that point. But yeah, anyway. So thank you everyone. I really do mean that. I'll catch you next time. See, is this place? The most random things turn up. And what the fuck is this? Okay, so the